Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Sam here, United People's TV, here with a standard 10 a.m. live show, but it doesn't feel particularly standard. And the last 48, mate, the last week, really. This summer has gone from here to there to, and now it's gone nuclear last night with the Baleba story. I covered it all. Breaking news, had a beer, had my shades on, had a really good time. I'm sure you enjoyed it too. Going to run through any updates that have happened, a little bit more from Fabrizio. I can't believe I'm going to be saying this, but I'm going to pull up an IndyCar bit of info. It's a bit of anybody who's been around football Twitter for long enough will know how weird that is. We'll also be speaking, I don't know, how about we talk about Sesko and the fact that we're probably going to get a here we go today. Madness. Sparta. Anyway, going to run through all of that. Going to see what you're saying in the chat. Going to speak about new Carrington as well. Going to speak about Fiorentina that's coming up on Saturday. Jeez, August is delivering. Let me see who's here from the mods and the members gang, and we'll get on with the show. Steve, I saw you there. Thank you very much, dude, for gifting 10 memberships. And let you know, peeps, we're going to be starting the interviews very soon for the head of community to be coming into United People's TV. And I'm telling you, when that person comes in, and I've been so excited to be able to bring this person in, things are really going to go from here to there with the community. And everything that we've spoken about, we'll have the ability to do. Let me see. Sam, can't believe you were not drinking Newcastle Brown Ale last night. Man, come on, I don't want to drink sink water. Come on. Even my dad drinks Old Speckled Hen. I'm like, I was not a fan of like proper ale. I like a little bit of carbonated bubbles in my drinks. Just don't like it flat. Steph, good morning to you. The mods are down here. Josh, good morning to you. Alex, you're there as well. And Carl, you're there. No doubt. Warren, good morning to you. We've got Ready Salted Ricky. Watch out for Salt and Vinegar Vicky. Steve, good morning to you. Finn, we've got Zach. Got lots of new faces tuning in. And it's been a busy couple of days. But I tell you what, there's one thing that I saw going around yesterday that I absolutely want to start with. This. I'm definitely using this in a mini doc.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
Man, that is so bob on from Fabrizio. Stu, I'm still in talks with Royal Mail. Nothing's come. Absolutely nothing's come. Although they did send a test letter that actually came through. So what I think might be happening is that everything that's been sent, fingers crossed, is actually sat at the sorting office, the local sorting office, but they didn't actually know what address for some reason that it went to, because it was actually my postman who said, oh, actually, I know that guy. And he came and delivered the sort of test letter. So I'm ringing them later today, but it has been a bit busy. But yeah, that is just...
Don't underestimate Manchester United. Don't.
It's so spot on, man. Rerun, you're saying, Sam, when's the Baleba's profile coming out, since we're obviously going to sign him now? I wish I had as much confidence as you. We're not going to be working straight away on that profile video. We're going to wait for the story to continue developing. We're working hard in the background on the Sesko one right now. But let's speak about it, okay? And just like, it kind of leaves me genuinely a little bit speechless, because as I said last night, like the practical part of my mind, the logical part of my mind, there's no chance this is going to happen. Like, not even 1% chance this is going to happen. And then this happened, right? Schwab, you're saying the good times are coming. Well, Amram was nay lying. Rex, you're saying an advert to join Discord. Some creative people creating Sam as Robotnik dropping bombs on St. James. Someone needs to send me that meme. Dr. Robotnik, someone's done me dirty. Although I was enjoying myself last night. You got to have a good time sometimes, right? We had a crap season last season, so no one's saying that United are back, but I tell you what, well, probably a lot of you are saying United are back. I don't think there's anybody who is questioning the ambition of INEOS. And I never have. I've questioned their ability to be able to do it and what the time frame was, but I don't think the ambition's ever been disputed, if I'm being completely honest. They want United to be back on the very top. They want United to win the treble again. They want United to be winning the Premier League in 4 out of 6 years. That's what they want. And they also want Baleba. I'm going to just briefly run through the story that we covered yesterday. And then a little update from Fabrizio. And as I said, I'm going to be running through an Indicalia tweet, which is a random bit of thing there. Never thought I'd be saying that. Give Brighton Sancho and Garnacho. No one wants the bomb squad, man. Bloody hell. Caleb saying, Sam, I'm a Cameroonian myself and a United fan. I'm happy with how United is doing business this season, but worried when the AFCON starts. I've seen people speaking about that last night. I'm not going to be speaking about when we might lose a player who we haven't signed yet, but I understand the fears. Someone watching from Jamaica as well. Big up to everyone around the world. Now, this was a story that broke last night, of course, that United, via intermediaries, exploring the conditions for Baleba. Now that the buzz and the excitement has gone from the initial news, I suppose we can assess it a little bit more. The fact that United are doing this, I think is quite important. The fact that we're going through intermediaries, it feels like United probably are going to be trying to exert some pressure here. Because like Emmanuel down there saying Baleba won't happen this summer. I think it was 60% of you last night in the poll. You feel that it will. I don't think it would happen unless United managed to get Baleba on board to push it from his side. Now, a big part of that is going to be wages, which I'll speak about quite soon. Right? Fabrizio, of course, followed up with this last night, saying that United have approached his camp. Brighton, they want to keep him. Brighton don't want to let him go, and we already know that. Gungshi, thank you for gifting 10 memberships, dude. You've been sensationally generous in August. And Schwab, you've gifted 10 as well. Rob, you're saying it hasn't sunk in. Like, I'm doing my lunchtime video on that, man. I'm really going to... I did my video yesterday on... I can't believe... I think I called it like, I can't believe this is happening. And that was bloody yesterday. And then the Baleba stuff is going on top of it. It's like, what is that? How do you get your head around it? I really don't. Someone down there saying, what does intermediary mean? Which is a fair question. Intermediary is effectively your middlemen. So United aren't going to be in contact directly with Brighton. They're not maybe even directly in contact with Baleba and his representatives. There'll be someone in the middle that can have the conversation on their behalf. I don't know whether that would be a friend of an agent. I don't know exactly what an intermediary is, but it's somebody who bridges that gap between United and Brighton, or United and Baleba. Now, let's run through what else has been reported on this now. And this is from Fabrizio last night, saying that Baleba didn't close the door to United after direct contact with his camp. And there you go. There's an update from Fabrizio. So now we're talking about intermediaries. We're saying Manchester United have been in contact directly with Baleba's representative. So we're speaking to his agent. The door is not closed. And there's no way he closed the door. This is also a very important point, right? Probably the most important point, I actually think. If there is a chance this is going to happen, it's because of this. Baleba's on, I don't know the exact wage, but he's not on much at Brighton. They signed him from Lille. Their wage structure, of course, would be very different to Manchester United. Man United can take advantage of that. I think you could offer him 100 grand a week and it would be a substantial pay rise. So the fact that I do think United have played the market smartly in how we've approached players and how we've approached clubs. You could say that we had our pants pulled down over the Mbumo deal. If I'm being completely honest, I think we just I actually thought 55 mil was a pretty damn fair opening offer, but I also thought the 70 mil was actually a fair price for him, considering what happened in between those two things. Sesko, we played it well. We waited. We found out he wanted to join. Boom, we put the offer in. 5 mil less than Newcastle. He's told them that he wants to join. Now they're negotiating the final ones. I see lots of you saying down there that he's on 12.5 grand a week. I haven't seen that verified anywhere, but that's what I've heard as well. But either way, I don't know the exact numbers, right? But he's not going to be on much there. So effectively what United are doing here, and this is the strategy, we're not going to Brighton to speak to them about Baleba, because you know what the answer is. So why would I go to Brighton if I know that they don't want to sell? Okay, what I'll try and do then, one sec. There goes the police. Did you hear that? I don't know if you even heard that. So instead of going directly to Brighton, we're going to his representative. And this is the stupid thing about what is tapping up anymore. I don't know. I really don't know. Because previously this was illegal. Previously, you couldn't contact a player's representatives without having permission from the club. And now you can. But this is what United are doing. We're going to try and get him to probably agree personal terms, sell the project, maybe sell the vision to him. And then maybe that might force Brighton's hand. And you're saying 80 to 85 mil plus easy add-ons. I always felt it would be over 100 mil. I'm going to go through, and this is what I mean, right? I'm putting this up as a disclaimer before anybody uses this to clip against me. David Ornstein crediting IndyCar with sort of breaking the Baleba story is one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. That full circle moment. Anybody who's been around on football Twitter long enough will know that IndyCar is effectively, it's almost like a parody dramatic transfer account that just kind of makes a lot of nonsense up. And always was considered saying, hey, he's working at KFC, he's doing this. It was kind of the butt of the jokes. And no one ever took anything he said seriously. And then he comes out with the Baleba story and David Ornstein's crediting him. You're thinking, what the world's going on here? Now, he tweeted an update on it last night. I wanted to give you that as a sort of a disclaimer before I pull this up on screen. Because this is what the suggestion is. The Brighton want 100 mil, 90 plus 10. But United are looking at the valuation of around about 70 mil total. In my opinion, good luck. 70 mil total, I just don't think it's going to happen unless you get Carlos Baleba really pushing for it internally. That's going to be United's best leverage when it comes to driving the price down. But Brighton, Tony Bloom, they're going to be... Although the João Pedro situation, didn't they actually want more? And he ended up going Chelsea for about 60 mil. 60 mil, I think, is still quite a lot. Look, this is from the Telegraph last night as well, saying United are exploring the deal. He'd like to strengthen number 6. Brighton, they want to hold on to him. And we know that. Brighton don't want to sell him. But United want to sign him. I don't imagine this is going to be... Look, my gut still tells me this is United basically putting in the legwork so that we've got a step ahead next summer, because it probably won't happen this summer. Smee is saying down there that we need Baleba asking for the move. That's ultimately what United would love to have. United would, whether it's I don't think it'll be a formal transfer request, but it'd be effectively Baleba walking into Brighton and say, look, I've loved it. I've enjoyed my time here, but I'd like to move to Manchester United. Can you facilitate that this summer? I suppose that is a bloody transfer request. It's just a polite transfer request. That's what United's strategy is. Brighton won't like it, but that's what United are trying to do. And that's kind of the stage where we're at now. So I think in terms of developments on this, we want to find out whether Baleba and his camp are going to force it, push it real good. Bam, bam, little ding. And let me see what you're saying down here. You're still buzzing about Sesko, but we'll speak about Sesko quite soon. The fact that it's potentially Sesko here we go day, and we're not even going to speak about him for the first 20-25 minutes of the show. Yes, mad. Warren is saying, is Brighton saying they don't want to sell only to drive the price up? Dude, Brighton don't need to drive the price up of Baleba. He is worth that money. He is somebody that I think I said it in the live show last night. For me, I think they're probably the most valuable positions in football. I think it's the most valuable player in the Premier League is that type of proper box-to-box complete midfielder. Baleba is a complete midfielder. I think Moises Caicedo is a complete midfielder. Strong in the duel. Got the engine to last 90 minutes. Can drive through the lines. Can pass through the lines. Can receive the ball from his defence. Can score goals. Can get assists. Can win headers. Really is. Like, you know how some people like kind of over-exaggerate and talk about complete players? Or that's what they strike me as. And they strike me as the most valuable players in football. So that's why Caicedo went for so much. And that's why I think Baleba will go for, I don't know whether it will be an equal amount, but it's what they want. Yoro's the intermediary. I'll speak about that soon. Sammy saying, great name by the way, Baleba may be far-fetched for this summer, but the ambition INEOS is showing will give us some well-deserved unity and hope. This summer for INEOS, just a quick pause. It was a good super chat there. This summer from INEOS, it kind of had to be what we're seeing. Maybe not on this level, I'll be totally honest. The levels are way beyond. But after the summer that we had, after the season that we had, and I'm talking about the things that they did, the 400 cuts, the £66 unconsulted ticket price rises, the stuff coming out about the new stadium and season ticket licenses and like kind of ostracizing match-going fans and just so much of the fibre of the club, it felt like it was kind of getting stripped away, but a lot of it was necessary. How much? That's kind of down for debate. Down for debate. Bloody up for debate. Yesterday, I did a proper Samism. What did I say? When the cats come home. No, until the cats come home. There's a definition for that. What's it called? I sent someone this morning. It's when you get idioms mixed up in your head. I do it all the time. I did it back at Ball Street loads. And James Alcott definitely changed the name of the bloody WhatsApp group to Till the Cats Come Home this morning, which is quite funny, to be fair. What's it called? It's I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but it's quite funny. I do it all the time. It is called a metaphor. When you mix idioms up. So, for example, let's burn that bridge when we get to it is from burn your bridges and cross that bridge. And you make a new one up in your head. I know what I'm trying to say, but I never actually bloody say it. But this man here, it's not old age. I've been doing this for ages. Yeah, you will get it. It's a metaphor. I didn't know it was a thing. I do it all the time, but it is quite funny. This dude right here, it really is. It would be the biggest signing we make this summer. I'd probably say by some margin, really. That's how big a signing it would be for us. I'm still a bit shook. Like, someone mentioned it down there, right? Lenny, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Holler at your boy. Oh, Nana. Holler at your boy. Get on the phone. Get this man to ring Tony Bloom and say, Tony. Love Brighton, man. Woo, man, I've had a good time. But
don't underestimate Manchester United.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. They want me. I really want to join. I don't mean to do this in a disrespectful way to Brighton, but please. That's what we need to happen. I think if there's going to be any chance, and hey, look, I can't tell you anything that's not going to happen this summer now because it's completely exceeded expectations already. But if it's going to happen this summer, I think Baleba's actually going to have to do quite a lot of the legwork himself. And then it will be, geez, you know how difficult the negotiations would be? That won't be easy. And where the money comes from, I don't know. But is there anybody else that you'd like to sign? Because I'll do a tweet about it. You know what I mean? I'll take my logical, practical head and say, I can't possibly do that. So anybody want Donnarumma? Get Donnarumma in there. Let's get Adam Morton as well. Yeah, let's get Adam Morton in there as well. Alex is saying, all I want is the bomber mid-live. We haven't had a mid-live bomber this season. We had the Euro lot. Did we have more than one last season? I know we had Euro. Not sure if we had anyone else. Sam, when fans start to hate us in abundance, it shows we're back. There will be a lot of people looking at what United are doing this summer and going, taking the piss. The best thing that ever happened to the rest of the Premier League was the Glazers. The worst thing that ever happened to Manchester United in the modern era was the Glazers. By them coming in, they dragged us down at the exact same time where City got the oil money and everything sort of went in the other direction. And we've had to just sit here and be passengers to the Premier League title race for over a decade now. We weren't even in it when Solskjaer finished second because our asses kind of fell out. Did we finish second when we were top at Christmas and then City just went on a nuts run? Xerxes haven't been season live. Last season was live as well. There you go. Yeah, right. I'll tweet about Donnarumma after this. I don't actually want to know. I don't actually. Would Donnarumma be my choice? Probably. But the wages would be a madness. That's why I'm sort of thinking about Sen Lemons, signing a younger goalkeeper. Rich, you saying my gut feeling someone has been sold on the quiet. And this is actually the next point I want to be speaking about. Is this, right? Right? How can United do this? Now, we ran through this yesterday. And I spoke about the charges that were against the in the club's accounts, the company's house, and how when there was a charge against that last summer, it was because United were extending their overdraft, the credit card, until 2027. Now, there's a charge that happened on July the 10th, but no one actually knows exactly what it was for. Now, it could well be that United were extending their overdraft again, or they may have well have been increasing it with the intention of doing this stuff. But Subprime Goals is a good lad. I speak to him sometimes in the DMs on Twitter. I think he's kind of laid it out and saying, like, you're looking at this going, how? Where's this money coming from? And he's sort of laying out 4 potential ways in which Man United might have more money than anyone realises. Number 1, there's player sales lined up that we don't know about yet, which is going to be ideal, right? If we go to the whiteboards, I tell you what, I haven't used the whiteboards that much this summer because it's just been so mad, right? We look down here. You're looking at the exact same players that we all know about, right? Anthony is where you might get money from. Garnacho, Sancho, Højlund. I don't think you're going to be looking at that because, well, he's not going Leipzig now. We've already covered that, unfortunately. That sucks because he's blocking it. So if he's blocking Leipzig, he's going to block everyone. So I don't know what's going to go on there with Højlund. But maybe there's player sales we don't know about. And if I'm going to choose one, I'm going to choose No, I'm not choosing one. I'm saying Casemiro. But if there's a player sale that's coming that we don't know about and we're not really speaking about, I hope it's Casemiro. Because if United were to sign Baleba, so I'm speaking in the hypotheticals of being able to afford Sesko and Baleba, there'd be no place for Casemiro next season. There really wouldn't be. Not as one of the number 6s. He's not going to be one of the number 8s. That's going to be Mainu or Bruno, dovetailing, one or the other. I think so anyway. So Casemiro, if we were to sign Casemiro, he'd be behind Baleba, he'd be behind Ugarte. Someone's saying Garnacho wants Chelsea, of course he does. Don't let Collier go out on loan. Collier going back to Brighton? What's going on down here? Nothing. Right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is an interesting one, which of course could be happening. There's sponsorship deals coming that we don't know about yet. Man United are about to unveil the new Carrington, right? I'm going to run through that a little bit later. Maybe it's not called Carrington anymore. Well, actually, is it called Carrington? Is it still called the Aon Training Complex, or did that deal expire a while ago? I can't actually remember that. Because maybe it gets unveiled on Friday and it's the INEOS Training Complex in a new £100 million deal. Because that would actually be pretty damn good advertising for it. I don't know, do INEOS need advertising? Is it the prestige of the brand value to be associated with Manchester United's training ground? I think there's probably more value in that. INEOS don't exactly need brand awareness at this point. That's possible. So maybe on Friday we get a little cheeky surprise in that sense. I don't know whether we are. Number 3, which I've spoken about there, to do with the credit cards, right? I don't know. It's someone saying it down there. I don't think there is a training kit sponsor right now either, because who was it? Tezos. I think it was Tezos. So I actually don't think there's a training ground sponsor or a training ground kit sponsor, and we're about to launch a brand new training ground. I'll be interested to see if that one happens. That could well happen. That makes sense when you think about that. Little INEOS on the training kit, INEOS for the training ground. That's the performance center. I hope that happens. That'll be a good surprise. Number 3, look, they could well be extending the credit card. That might be the case. It could be taking on new debt. But I will say this again, right? The word debt with Manchester United fans is like it twigs you. It just makes you shudder. But there really are different forms of debt. The Glazer debt was the worst debt. That was debt leveraged onto the football club that we didn't gain anything from. We were paying for them buying our football club. And we gained nothing from it. Debt that's accumulated to invest into the squad that actually garners results and garners Manchester United being better, and we step forward, then it's debt with a return. Because then you have more money towards the end of the season to then pay off the debt that you've accumulated. You pay off the interest and more, because all of a sudden you're back in the Champions League next season when you probably had no right to be because of the squad and where you finished last season. There are different forms of debt. And then that one there, I don't think there's really any chance of that happening. Could be further control change, so maybe INEOS taking on a bigger equity and putting more money to the club. I don't actually think that's going to happen. UPTV Carrington. United People's Carrington. Sorry, guys, got to shut down the channel now because I put all the money into that sign. Be worth it, right? Don't think it would be. Of all of them, I really hope it's that. And it's that to do with the training ground. That'll be a cool surprise tomorrow. But having more sales, let's find out. Anti's saying, I know there's a fair market value clause for sponsoring kits and stadiums, but does that extend to training facilities too? You would presume so. But I don't know. I don't know anything about associated party transactions, all the stuff that City have taken Premier League to court with and won a little bit there, and the 115 charges that don't exist. And nobody got any idea, man. Right? No one's got any idea. Gungshi Carrington. It's exactly what it should be, Zarkov. Either way, what I would probably say with confidence is Manchester United wouldn't have reached out to Brighton, wouldn't have reached out to intermediaries and spoken to Baleba's camp if they didn't think that they could facilitate the deal. Like, because just imagine this, right? Imagine how dumb this, just say this in your head and you realize how dumb it is. United have reached out to intermediaries. They've reached out to Baleba's camp. And then he goes, yeah, man. Yeah, I want to do this. Cool. Yeah, I want to move to Man United. Right. He goes in and puts in a transfer request, and then United go, wow, balls, actually, man. Wasn't expecting you to do that. We can't actually afford you until the summer. Just keep it on ice. See you next year. Think about it. It's just dumb as hell. I think United wouldn't do that. So somehow, United feel that they can finance this deal. We don't know the ins and outs of it. I've just ran through some options, which it might be. There's no way that United open this door and start these conversations unless we feel like we could do it. So let's see what happens next. Boy, oh boy, what a 48 hours here. And as I said, pick up the phone, right? Pick up the phone. Come on, Lenny. Get in that WhatsApp chat. Carlos, how you doing, man? Send him some memes. Send him.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
So we got to send to him. So Nana and Yoro, just take that video, put that in, right? Put that in. Now, that's what I mean. We're half an hour into the show. We've been speaking about this man. And now we're going to be speaking about this man. It has been a mad, mad week. Really has been a mad, mad week. Sesko, right? I'll give you the updates as to what's going on, and fingers crossed today is the day where we're here celebrating. Might even have to pop the shades on. Might even have to have a little cheeky Corona, because I'm hoping it's a here we go today. But this is what's being reported, right? You already know this, right? This is from last night. This wasn't just from last night. I think Fabrizio said it even the night before, but it's just everybody knows it, right? Sesko has chosen United over Newcastle, and he agrees personal terms with us. And can I just say, Newcastle? All right, and John McGinn. Man, I've got to work on my... I just look like I'm having a bloody stroke. Got to work on the old The old Henri Twitch. Lads, you can have John McGinn, all right? Mate, truth be told, John McGinn could probably come into our midfield now and do a job for a season. But anyway, you can have him, all right? You can have him. Mate, Sesko is massive. 6'5". Oh, come on. No, you can't really change the lyrics. I still think that's my favourite chant. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is our Swedish hero. Cost 80 mil. From Leipzig to... Doesn't work. 6 foot high. 5. Man, that was a season as well. That was a double season. That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. Anyway, this is what's been reported from Fabrizio on the Sesko deal, right? United and Leipzig, they're back in talks today for Sesko to agree the deal on the final package. He's agreed personal terms yesterday and will train separately until the deal is done. I just don't see this taking long. I really don't. I think it was 82.5 mil plus 2.5 mil in add-ons was accepted by Leipzig from Newcastle. And I saw a report yesterday saying that United were willing to offer up to 80 mil euros up front. It's basically the same deal, right? That's what's being said by Fabrizio, and this is what's being said by Florian Plettenberg because he's come from Germany, so I'm giving him a bit more credit, I suppose. Showdown in Leipzig today. Newcastle, like United, have still got representatives on site in Leipzig. That's such a funny idea. They're just sitting there just like... Still talking. They're still talking. Damn it. Still talking. Oh, they're still talking. Like, it's just a funny idea. It's a funny idea. They're obviously hoping that it's going to collapse. But I don't see it collapsing. I see us coming here later on. Maybe today. Maybe tomorrow. And we have a lot of fun with the Sesko. Here we go. Jesus. A summer of Cunha and Bumo, Sesko and Baleba. You'd have to put a goalkeeper on that to make it complete in terms of signings. But it's going to be, if that happens, it's pretty much bob on what my dream window was. I put Gyökeres instead of Sesko. I put Wharton instead of Baleba. But those you can sort of like toss between. It was those styles of play. It was that sort of powerful central forward. And it was that sort of kind of dynamic midfielder. And then a goalkeeper. I had down Joan Garcia, but then he went to Barcelona. I feel like this comes today or tomorrow. If everything's ready and prepped. Although naturally I'm going to get caught out. Got caught out in the Macca's drive-thru yesterday for the Baleba stuff. So I'll be out, I don't know, maybe having a little cheeky afternoon pint. I'm seeing a friend I haven't seen in months. So you know what's going to happen. It's going to be announced then, but I've got everything set up already. So I should be here probably within about 15 minutes or so of any news that happens. Someone down there saying, are we finally able to gloat again? No, not yet, man. I think we're all just really happy to see, and this is something that's really, really important. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to repeat this, and I might even do a video specifically on it. What you're watching is Manchester United. Is INEOS with a vision for what our club should be and where our club should be in the next few years. Not what Ruben Amorim wants. Now, those two things are aligned. But we're signing for our football club. Even after Amorim, whenever that may be, the idea is to leave a squad that's capable of playing any system. We're not signing specialists just for Ruben Amorim. I'd argue that we actually haven't signed one specialist, really. You could say that Dorgu's a specialist, but he could absolutely be converted into a left-back. That would take a little bit of time and coaching, but definitely would have the fundamentals for it. You could probably argue that it'd be better to be converted into a left winger than he would be a left-back. You might be right. We're not signing ultra specialists. We're signing, and we're being linked with, just top-level elite footballers that work across any system. That's what we're doing this summer. It's not the most exciting thing, but we're watching finally our football club clearly have a strategy. And remember how frustrated people were at the start of the window. Nothing's happening and this and that. Do INEOS wish that it happened a little bit quicker? I imagine so. Season's not started yet, though. I wonder how fit Sesko's going to be. He might not actually be fit enough to start the game against Arsenal, if you're being honest. I don't know. I'm not allowed to have any sort of life outside this studio in the transfer window. These are the rules. But ladies and gents, this is exactly why I'm so happy that I've got my house now. This summer, I won't have it, but I'm going to be building... I want to build a gym. So I have the ability to rehab, stay fit, stay healthy, whilst also being able to do the job that I need to do. Currently, I can't do both to the level I want to. And because I'm working so much, I'm kind of going a little bit down the other side. But it's all right. We'll get there. Well aware of it. James saying, has Sesko played any preseason games? I know he was left out the weekend. I don't know about any other ones, if I'm being completely honest. So he may or may not. But that was my thumbnail. Big up, George, making the thumbnails. For the video yesterday. I cannot wait to do the video this lunchtime when I've got bloody Carlos Baleba sitting there beaming with Ruben Amorim. Varun, you're asking about rehab. Anybody who doesn't know, I had a full ankle replacement surgery February last year now, like 16, 17 months ago. And I'm still... I actually don't know whether I'll get... I think I might have lost some mobility and lost some strength that might not actually come back. That's what I'm starting to realise now. But I'm going to go get whammo. Someone down there saying, yeah, he's been involved in pre-season. There you go. Do the lives on an exercise bike. That'll be terrible. Sam, you got to book a romantic dinner for 2 this weekend so we can get Sesko in for Arsenal. Yep, that's correct. Someone down there saying, I have absolute faith in this management turning United around on and off the pitch. My faith's not absolute. I wouldn't go that far. But the ambition this summer has been matched by an ability to actually pull it off. Because it's all good and well having ambitions. But actually being able to execute them and achieve them is another thing. It does feel like some markers are being laid this summer. I don't think United have really been pushed around in any deal. You could say that United got pushed around in Mbumo. But I think that was partly their own fault. They just left it too long between the first and the second bid. And because of that, all the other stuff started happening in the market, which indirectly affected the price. I think because of that delay, they gave Brentford more leverage. And we paid for it. But I don't think anybody's going to say that 70 mil for Mbumo was overpriced. And that's pretty reflective of the market. Sesko, is he overpriced? I think of the three, I would say that Sesko's probably overpriced. And it's certainly the biggest risk of the three. But is anybody going to say it's a bad transfer at the end of the season if he scored 30 goals in all competitions for Manchester United? Not one of you. Not one of you would say that. Obviously, you're going to say from this point of view, you're going to be pessimistic, sceptical. Will it work out? Don't quite know. Will it be another Horden? No, it won't. I think people are lazy saying that. Someone down there saying Kone is very good. We don't need to spend heavy. You just don't know that, Albano. And he hasn't played a minute of pre-season, which indicates to us as United fans that Ruben Amorim doesn't quite think that he's ready for first-team football and that he went on the pre-season tour for experience more than anything. And it probably likely means that, and if we speak about Casemiro, Kone absolutely needs to leave on loan if we sign Baleba. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Andy's saying you operated on twice in 1 year, haven't been able to use your right hand properly since. It's annoying, isn't it? You get used to it. Your body adapts. Humans adapt, man. My leg is in a completely different position now. My foot's pointing bloody... Well, it absolutely shouldn't be. So everything's different, but you just get used to it. Well, not get used to it, but yeah, you adapt. That's what happens. Our academy players should be given a chance. The right ones will be given a chance. Season prediction video is out next week. Boy, oh boy. We've had like 3 meetings this week. We're like, oh, let's reschedule this. And I'm like, yeah, we've got to reschedule that. Trying to get everything out. I'll be honest, today is going to be a double drop day. Lunchtime video is going to be around Baleba and around United in the summer and INEOS. 7 p.m. is going to be the Fiorentina starting 11 video. And that will leave space. Mate, and if the bloody Sesko announcement happens, we won't have the profile ready until tomorrow. So fingers crossed, all right? Can we just tell United to wait until tomorrow to announce the Sesko, here we go, I say United, Fabrizio and David Ornstein, because then we can drop the profile straight after. So that'd be nice, all right? Come on, United, do me a favour. So we're a day behind on that. But on top of all of that, and I mentioned it earlier, and I mentioned it last night, this. The timing on this is just absolutely impeccable. Do you not think? After the pre-season we've had, which was largely positive, last game against Everton was frustrating, but I think the general consensus from that was good. And we saw some really good football in the first 2 games against West Ham and Bournemouth. The players are now back at Carrington, and they're walking in going, mate, this feels fresh. Cunha's walking in for the first time. Well, actually, no, he trained at Carrington. So he saw it a little tiny bit beforehand. Well, I suppose he saw it when it was nearly done, so didn't actually see it. But it feels like a fresh start, if you want to call it now. It does feel like a fresh start. Players all sort of walked around it yesterday, getting in the new surroundings. But right now we've got, geez, man. We're waiting for a Sesko. Here we go. We've got the Carlos Baleba story that's come out of nowhere and it's shocked us all in the right way. We've got new Carrington opening on Friday. Really wish I was at that event, but I couldn't get access. And then on top of that, you've got Fiorentina playing at Old Trafford on Saturday. Probably going to be getting Mbeumo's Old Trafford debut, Cunha's Old Trafford debut, maybe even Diego Leon's. We don't quite know. It's fair to say that the anticipation for the season is growing. Will we get this man in time and fit enough to be in the squad versus Arsenal? I imagine he would be in the squad, but I question whether he'd start, if I'm being honest. But just kind of everywhere you look at United right now, there's a good feeling about the season coming up. There's a lot of questions to be asked about treatment of match day fans. I think that's where the 1958 protest, I've seen that they've sort of done a bit of a reverse and suggested they'll do a poll asking if they should include INEOS and Jim Ratcliffe in it. I think they just massively misread the room, if I'm being honest. I think to have a protest against INEOS now, when I'm not just saying this because of the signings we've made this summer or what we've done, but the first year was always going to be ugly, and it was, I think, uglier than anybody thought. I think the thing that's driving the idea of the protest is the fact that it's mainly ostracizing match-going fans, and that's where the anger comes from. But the wider picture, they are doing a lot of good things and a lot of questionable things. Certainly up for debate. But then on top of all of this, right, on top of everything, I think there's clearly still going to be room for a goalkeeper. I don't know what level of goalkeeper. I don't know what goalkeeper. It's not going to be John from Botafogo. There's a couple of super chats. I think I might have missed these. Sam, why aren't we going for Hjulmand? Because we don't want him. That's an easy one. Jonas saying, maybe a gentleman's agreement with Bruno for a sale next summer. I don't think there'll be a gentleman's agreement with Bruno for a sale. But, and I already said this yesterday, and you know how much I love Bruno, and I will continue to be the first person to defend him. But I think that United might have a succession plan in place. And if we do go out and get Baleba, then from next season, you might see Baleba and Kobe as our main midfield too. Man United might let Bruno go next summer. I was adamant that Bruno shouldn't go this summer, and I stand by that. Mr. Men saying 30 seconds, what have I missed? I don't know. Depends when you joined in. But I'll tell you what, last night was probably the most fun I think we'll have. I said that. Just all the streams this week have just been mega fun. But last night in particular. Someone saying there, forced De Gea to stay. Well, kickoff Saturday, I think, is 12:45 p.m. It's an early kickoff, isn't it? Baleba's a long-term option. Let's get a loan deal for Baleba with obligation to buy next summer. I mean, if you think it's going to be difficult to sign Baleba, then the idea of getting him on loan is nigh on impossible. It's not happening. Although if you do that, then I think the idea of doing that is that you can spread the cost into next year's accounts. I understand that. But as long as you sign a player after June the 30th, it already goes into next year's accounts. Look, I hoped for a good summer. I hoped for like 3, maybe 4 signings. I hoped for United to be competitive next season. And my ambition was for United to drive back up the table and try and get inside that top 6. If United sign this, man, I think my conversation might change. I think the project gets accelerated a bit. That's the sort of signing this is. And I don't think that's something that Mbeumo could have done on his own, that Cunha could have done on his own, or Sesko could have done on his own. That's the sort of level of signing this is. Last couple minutes of the show. If anybody's got any questions to fire them in. If you are new, there's plenty of faces here. Thank you for tuning in. Please do drop a like on the video and make sure you subscribe because we are growing. And you know the thing I love about this community and I love about this channel? It's probably the thing I'm most proud of, right? When United are doing well, United People's TV, the channel does well. When United are down, and we were down for a long time, then everybody tunes off. United, the views go down. Like, people don't tune into this channel to see me losing my shit. I'm quite boring in that. I'm just a moody United fan. But I just love the fact that when the excitement builds, when you can look ahead to the future, and that's when United People's TV grows. So we grow with the club. We go down with the club. We follow the exact same trajectory. And I've always loved that about the channel. How much do I think he's worth? I think he's worth over 100 mil. If I'm being honest, I think he's worth over 100 mil. If Caicedo was 115, I just don't really see, because he's how old? I don't know how old Caicedo was when he joined Chelsea. Now, Depressive Sam is not enjoyable to watch. Depressive Sam is not enjoyable to be, Chris. And there was a lot of that last season. Let's be honest. Someone asking, am I getting this year's 3rd kit? May already have it. Just waiting for United to release it so I can wear it. Warren saying, when I joined the community, it's on 126. That's awesome, man. Look, big up to everyone. Big up to everyone who got involved. I'll be here tomorrow to wrap up the week. I might be back here later today with a here we go. Right? So everyone's saying he's 22 when he joined. Probably thereabouts then. I think we get here we go with Sesko today or tomorrow. With the Baleba story, I think it's going to be down to him to try and force the move. And if he does that, then United have got a chance this summer. Really do think we do. I'm going to say this one more time before I end this show. And I'm probably going to be playing this a lot.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
We can finish 15th. We can not win the Premier League since 2012. We can not win the Champions League since 2008. But yeah. Good luck writing us off. Take it easy.